Hey there guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today we are going to be talking about episode 16 of The Return to Twin Peaks. And oh my goodness,
Oh my god.
what an episode this was.
So much happened, so much.
A lot got tied up.
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot of things that we wanted answered, things that we wanted to happened.
Yes.
And it's full speed ahead from here.
yeah, definitely.
So let's just start from the top.
Yes.
The episode begins. You've got Doppel Cooper and Richard Horn driving as we saw them in the last episode.
So they pull up in what looks like an open field, basically, and they get out of the car, and Richard has no idea what's going on, but Doppel Cooper tells him that he's been looking for this place, and he got coordinates from 3 different people.
Yeah.
2 of the coordinates were the same, so those are the ones he followed, and it leads right to this one rock that's like right in the middle of this field.
And so he hands him a thing that's like a beeper or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. And he says, "Go up onto the rock, and I'll see you in a bit."
Yeah.
and
as this is happening, we see...
yes, Jerry Horde comes running up. He's like, "People?"
Yeah.
And he pulls out his binoculars, looks through one of the eye holes the wrong way.
Of course.
And just kind of observes everything that's happening here.
So finally we see what Jerry's been doing this whole time. He's been like running to this spot.
Yes.
For some reason.
For whatever reason, he's been running here.
But he's finally converging to the main story.
Yep.
So all that stuff we saw with him in those last 2 episodes wasn't just random stuff.
Even Jerry Horn is paying off in
Yes.
this episode. Basically, he's observing Richard go onto this rock, get electrocuted by nothing,
Yeah.
and disappear into sparks. And
then Doppel Cooper says, like, "Goodbye, my son."
yeah.
What?
And we're like, oh my gosh,
So Doppel Cooper's the father?
I guess he is.
I mean, never really heard that the Audrey's husband was the father, so...
Yeah. And now we're kind of not even sure what anything with Audrey is after some later
Yeah.
stuff, but we'll get to that.
Yes. But I mean, it would make sense since, Richard is an asshole and Doppel Cooper's an asshole too, so...
But it is also crazy just to see Jerry observe all that because he
Yeah.
is related to
Yeah.
Richard. He's his uncle.
I mean, he doesn't exactly know that's Richard down there, but it is kind of weird when you think about it.
It is.
He's watching his own nephew get zapped into nothingness.
It's crazy.
But, like, it seems like that was almost deliberate to have Richard go up there, and so is just Doppel Cooper trying to tie up loose ends, or...
I'm not sure if it's him trying to tie up loose ends, or maybe he wasn't sure if this is the right coordinate, and he's using him as like a guinea pig to test.
Yeah.
It could be one of many things. I think it was probably the former of those 2 options.
Yeah.
He's trying to tie things up.
So after that, Doppel Cooper sends a text that is a smiley face and in all caps, all.
Yeah.
And sends it. And then we cut to outside Dougie Jones's house.
Yes.
Which
and
both had us freaking out at
right
first.
away we're like, oh shit, because we've been waiting all week to see what happened with Dougie after he put the fork in the wall. And
there's nothing with that right now.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
But right now is when we thought we were maybe getting something with that. It's not. Basically, we get to see Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh in a van outside the house observing. I guess waiting for Dougie to come out so they can kill him. Mm-hmm. But he's not there right now. No. He's in a coma from putting a fork in the wall.
And then we see the FBI pull up to the house. The same 2 guys, the head of the Las Vegas FBI.
Yes.
And they walk over to the house and knock on the door, and of course, no one's there.
Yeah, and they have a nice little back and forth as they usually do, him getting mad at Wilson!
Yeah.
Those 2 are great.
So Wilson stays behind to be a lookout for Dougie Jones when he finally comes back to the house. Mm-hmm. So now you have 2 parties sitting outside Dougie's house.
Yes.
Got the assassins, Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh, and then you have the FBI. Which felt very similar to the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Where you have the house where Dougie and Jade stayed at, and you had those people just like waiting outside for him.
Mm-hmm. And with this, we're kind of thinking, okay, there's probably going to be some kind of confrontation between the FBI and these 2.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly what happens.
No. Because we cut to the hospital, and you see Dougie's in the hospital bed, he's in a coma. And of course, we're just like, of course he's not back right away. Lynch is going to make us wait, even though we already know it's coming. But Janie E, Sonny Jim, and the boss are just sitting there waiting, and in come the Mitchum brothers.
Yes.
I think they bring a giant thing of flowers.
And they bring in a bunch of finger sandwiches
Yeah.
and treats for Sonny Jim and the family. And...
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, Janie, can we have the keys to your house? Because we're going to put all new food in your house and do everything new for you.
Yeah. And she's like, here you go.
Yeah, no problem.
Here you go, gangsters. I'm sure you won't do anything bad.
No. So then they leave, and then we cut back to the house. And you see them pulling up and bringing all in the food. You see a truck pull up full of stuff that they're just bringing into the house.
Yeah.
And as this is going on, we see this car pull up to Tim Roth's van.
Yeah, almost right up against it. And this guy comes out. He walks up to the window and he says, "You're in my driveway." And they're like, "We're not anywhere near your driveway. Fuck you."
Yeah.
And he gets back in his car. He says, "I move car."
Yeah.
Which... could mean he's moving his car, but no. He gets into his car and tries to ram their car, off the road.
Rams their van, which isn't doing anything because he's a tiny car and they're a big van, and it's just pushing against it. You see a bunch of smoke coming up from the rubber and everything.
And they're just getting mad at him, so Jennifer Jason Leigh pulls out a gun and tries to shoot him.
And then this is where it gets even crazier.
Because he gets out of the car, runs to his trunk, and grabs his own gun. Starts shooting at them. They're trying to drive off.
Yeah.
And he just keeps following them and shooting through
Yeah.
the car, and he kills them.
Yeah.
He kills both of them.
Which
And-
just shows how great of an actor Tim Roth is, because he is a bad guy, but I was really sad when he died.
I know. I was kind of upset because I'm like, oh, I like Tim Roth.
Yeah.
I like this character.
But as all this is happening, the FBI is just sitting there watching this.
Yeah, they're just like, what the hell is going on?
And then the Mitchum brothers run out with their guns, like, what is going on?
And they're like, what the hell kind of neighborhood is this?
Yes.
He's like, people are under a lot of stress.
Yeah, best line. After they're dead, the FBI agents come out of the car and tell them to freeze and everything. And that's when the Mitchum brothers go, oh, okay, let's put away our guns.
Sneak out of here.
Yeah,
let's not get involved.
But holy shit.
Yeah, what a ridiculous scene.
That just escalated, like, so quickly.
It was nuts.
Yeah. But there ties off the whole thing with the assassins. That's tied up.
Yes.
That's all done.
There's one of many things that get tied up in this episode.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
While Dougie is in the coma, we cut to Cole, and all that like weird, crazy equipment that's up in the hotel room is making a noise that's similar to what the heart monitor is doing in the hospital with Dougie Jones.
Yeah. Kind of weird little moment there.
Yeah.
It was cool.
But you knew something was coming right as you saw that. Right as you saw Cole, you're like, what's going on here? And then you saw that it connected to the hospital. Like, all right, it's coming. It's coming. And then we cut back to the hospital. And just his boss is sitting in there with Dougie. And he starts hearing that humming noise that Ben Horn was hearing in his office at the Great Northern.
And so he goes and tries to follow the noise.
Yeah.
And while he's distracted by this noise, Dougie sees the one-armed man.
Yes.
And he wakes right up.
Yeah, he wakes right up.
And he talks to the one-armed man. The one-armed man says, "You are awake now." He says, 100%.
Yes. It was great.
Yes!
Coop is back.
Back, baby.
Oh, that was
We
so
were
great.
so excited.
That was wonderful. The one-armed man then tells Coop that the doppelganger is still out there. And then he says, take this, and hands him the ring from Fire Walk With Me. But then that scene, of course, because it's Twin Peaks, it goes into a really weird direction.
Yes.
Because when our man shows him the marble, or it's the seed, that's what he calls it, that was basically Dougie Jones.
Yes.
That's what Dougie Jones turned into. And Coop goes, well, can you make another one? And he pulls something from the back of his head.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
I don't know exactly, but he hands that to the one-armed man.
It almost looked like he was pulling like a piece of his hair out or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I guess that's what Dougie turned into, which is a seed, not a marble. But we'll still call it a marble.
It's gold marble. That's what.
But yeah, so Coop gets up, and then everybody rushes in to see him, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, you're back!" And we were both wondering what's going to happen with Coop. Like, does he have his memory? Does he not know anything what's been going on for the past few weeks, or does he know is he conscious through all this?
And pretty much right off the bat, he remembers everything.
Yes.
He was conscious of everything that was happening. He just wasn't, at the time, I guess, fully awake and able to, act himself.
Yes. So he knew Sonny Jim, he knew Janie, he knew this whole thing that's been going on.
Yeah, which is good, because that would have been devastating.
Yeah.
If he had just been like, I don't know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
I need to get some coffee.
Yeah, if he was like, who are you? Like,
yeah,
that would have been terrible, but it's good. It's good that he was conscious through all of that. And it's Coop, he's back, and it's so wonderful.
And he's the Coop we remember.
He is. He's the exact same Coop that we remember. Like, the doctors come in, and as he's taking off stuff, they're like, whoa, 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 get relaxed. And he's like, hey, I think you'll see that all my vitals and everything is A-okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's Coop. It's wonderful.
It was just great to see him back. It was worth the wait. For a little bit, I was like, oh, when are they going to bring Coop back?
Yeah.
Like halfway through the season. And then I kind of realized where they were going with it. And I fell in love with the Dougie character, Dougie Coop. I'm perfectly okay with Coop not being back until the third from last episode.
I am too, but there's kind of a little bit of a nitpicky like fanboy in me that's going, like after seeing Coop back in this episode, it kind of, I didn't realize how much I actually missed seeing that character. So I was kind of like, oh, I kind of wish he would have come back earlier. That's kind of like the fanboy in me saying that. I'm okay with it. I love the whole saga of Dougie Jones leading up to this point.
Yeah, and we're guaranteed to get a lot more Coop in the next couple episodes.
What about the FBI?
I am the FBI.
So satisfying that he's back, finally.
He's finally back.
So Coop calls up the Mitchum brothers, tells them to get a flight ready because they need to fly out to Washington, and they'll meet him at the casino.
Yes.
So he gets his nice suit and everything on, and they leave the hospital. Right as they leave, the theme kicks in.
The theme kicks in, and it plays for a while.
Yeah.
It almost as if they wanted to make up for having not played it very much at all.
Well, they haven't played it at all except for the opening credits.
Yeah. So it was
so wonderful, and you're just like, it made me smile so much.
It made me all warm and fuzzy inside.
It was, yeah. It did, because Coop is back, and then the song's back, and it was great. It was one of the best moments of the episode. Probably the best moments of the season, too. Just like seeing that come back, and you're like, it's here. Like, Dougie is here. Not Dougie. I keep saying Dougie. I'm used to Dougie. Cooper is here, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
You have a good funny scene with them driving over to the Mitchum brothers.
Yeah, he's a great driver.
Yeah.
And they were like concerned because they're like, can he drive?
Yeah, because
like,
Cooper goes, I'll drive. Move
he's
over.
been like brain dead for the past several months. Or
Yeah.
well, really, we don't know how long. Honestly, I don't think it was much longer than a few weeks.
I don't know. Like, time is weird.
Time
in
is
this show.
weird in the show, but it's been a while.
It's been a good while, yeah.
And so then we get to what I would say is probably the most tense moment in the season so far.
Yeah.
This was intense.
So we see Diane.
Yes.
She's sitting at the bar and she gets that text from Doppelcooper that says, smiley face, all. And all of a sudden she gets like this rush of a memory and she remembers what happened the last time she saw Cooper.
Yes.
And you can tell she's clearly distressed by this. She's like not okay.
And she looks into her purse as she's getting ready to walk. You see a gun in her purse. And this is like the most tension-filled scene in the series because she slowly starts walking toward the hotel room with Gordon Cole.
And the song kicks in. It's just this intense song as she's walking, slowly walking to the elevator, into the elevator, walking over to the door.
We're both like, dude,
No.
don't do what you're gonna do, Diane.
Don't do what we think you're gonna do.
Just go take a smoke break.
Please.
Like, relax.
Yes.
You don't have to.
And she walks in, she sits down, and she says, I remember what happened the last time I saw Cooper.
Yeah.
And she goes into the story saying that it's been quite a while since they had seen Cooper, and Cooper just walked into her apartment while she was still part of the FBI, and just walked in, and she was so happy to see him. She hugged him and everything, and she sat down, and he started asking her all these questions about the FBI and what had been going on currently.
And she was trying to tell herself, oh, he's just curious about the Bureau, but she sort of realized he was grilling her and trying to get information. At one point, he leans in to kiss her.
And that's like the second time they've ever kissed, ever.
Yeah. And immediately after she kisses him, she feels really uncomfortable and really scared. And he sees the fear in her, and then she says that he raped her, which is terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
that just makes Doppelcooper even worse of a character.
Doppelcooper is the most evil.
I know.
Like, just, he's not a human. Like, I don't know what to call him. He's the most evil thing in existence. It's ridiculous.
But then you can tell she's really getting nervous. She's just like, not okay.
She starts saying, I am not me.
No.
I am not me.
She gave Doppelcooper the coordinates.
Yes.
And she mentions coordinates to the sheriff's station, and that's all she really says.
Yeah.
And then she reaches into her purse and takes out the gun.
And as she's pulling out the gun, Rosenfield and Tammy shoot her. And she zaps out of the scene. Like, she just poofs.
And of course, Cole is just like, oh.
He doesn't really got.
No.
He's just like, well, that happened.
But you could tell the entire scene, he was suspicious.
Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't react so shocked, because you can tell he was like, something's not right here. And I think he might have figured out what was going on, like, up until that point. I mean, he's just like, what sheriff's station? We're just like, Twin Peaks!
It's Twin Peaks.
Come on.
Come on, you know it's
Come on, Cole. You know, it's Twin Peaks.
Where else would it be? So then from there, Diane is now in the lodge. And we now know that she is not the Diane that we assumed that she was.
We don't know what she is. We don't know if she's like a doppelganger or something.
I think she's like the equivalent to what Dougie was.
Yeah,
she
could
was
be.
manufactured. It's the same. He says the same exact thing that he said to Dougie when he was in the lodge.
Yep.
She was manufactured, and she just goes, "I know, fuck you." And
and then her face crumbles apart, and the marble or the seed comes out, and then her body slowly just gets destroyed and goes away.
Just like Dougie. So, now that's
that was something.
We've already lost several characters in this episode.
But oh my god, that's not what I was expecting.
Not at all, but
that was insane.
Certainly an interesting end to that sort of story with Diane.
Then we cut to Cooper and Janie and all them going to the casino to meet up with the Mitchum brothers, and there he sets Janie and Sonny Jim to the side and mentions that he has to go away for a while. He goes like, Dougie or I will be back.
Yeah, he kind of slips up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're not Dougie?" And he's like, No, Dougie, I'm your dad.
He's like, no, I'm your dad. Like, I'm your husband. It was actually a really emotional scene.
It was.
Like,
it's sad. And I knew from the get-go that when we got to this point, it was going to be emotional because the actual Dougie has not been here this entire time.
No.
And this person that they've been forging a connection to isn't Dougie. And he has to leave at some point.
And even though he's not the brightest person, he's still 10 times better than the real Dougie.
Yeah.
And so you see, like, Janie E's character develop and get, like, happier as the show progressed. Like, she was not a happy person in those first few episodes.
And she's gotten happier and happier with Coop.
Yeah. So he has this big farewell scene with his family, and it was great. It was just so emotional.
Yeah. And Janie E's like, "I don't know who you are, but thank you." And it's just like, she knows it's not him, and she misses him more than she's gonna miss Dougie.
Yeah. Coop is just such a nice guy that whole time you just felt so bad for even Cooper. You could tell he didn't really want to leave them, but he had to. And so he leaves, he goes off with the Mitchum brothers, and we had this really good scene with them in the limo. And they're just like, so let me get this straight. You're not an accountant, you are an FBI agent, you need to go to this town, whatever, called Twin Peaks.
This is weird, and we're not generally liked by police law enforcement types. And he's just like,
in typical Cooper fashion.
"Well, that changes today. I can confirm that you gentlemen have hearts of gold." And they're just like, all right,
let's go,
everybody.
Love it.
And so they're off.
Then we cut to the Roadhouse.
Yes, which we saw it cut to the Roadhouse, and that they introduced a singer who's Eddie Vedder, by the way, which that was cool. I was happy to see that. But we're thinking, oh no, it can't be over already.
Yeah.
Because the episode, it seemed like it went by so quickly.
It went by really fast.
It did. And we were convinced, like, oh, it's just going to say starring Kyle MacLachlan pretty soon. But it didn't.
Audrey and her husband walks in.
Yes.
We're like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
They made it to the Bang Bang Bar.
She finally left her house. It took her 3 episodes, but she left her house. This is okay, this should be good. And they're walking over to the bar, getting drinks, and I'm just, okay, we're waiting, what's going to happen?
And
here we go.
The announcer comes up and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Audrey's dance." And we're like, what? What? And everybody moves out of the way.
Yeah.
The lights are purple. And it starts playing.
The quirky Twin Peaks theme.
It's like
the show.
The Mischievous song.
Yeah, and also the one that plays in the diner scene when Audrey was dancing in season 1. And so everybody clears away, and Audrey's like, oh, okay. And she gets off, and she starts dancing. She gets in the middle of the dance floor, and she's just doing her dance.
She's doing the dance that she did all the way back in season 1.
And we're first like, what the fuck is going on here?
At this point, we kind of realize this isn't reality.
Yeah.
This can't actually be the Bang Bang Bar, because this isn't what happens.
Twin Peaks is weird, but it's not this weird.
It's weird, but it's grounded in some kind of reality.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh, something's up here.
Yeah.
And as she's dancing, she dances for a while, so a couple minutes, and then suddenly a guy gets angry at some other guy, throws a bottle at his head, tackles him.
Yeah, because he's like, "That's my wife," and they start like,
"That's
fighting.
my wife," and they're fighting, and she gets really nervous, goes up to her husband, and she's like, "Please get me out of here." And as she's holding him and asking him to get out of there, the room like flashes, and she's in a white room and looking at a mirror.
And she looked at like surprised, like, "What?" And then cut to black.
Yeah, and it was playing the noise, the sound effect that you would hear whenever Dougie got close to an outlet,
Yeah.
or like at the beginning of the series when he went through the outlet,
Yeah.
it's that noise, that sizzling, weird sound, and it's like, oh my god, she's been in the lodge
something
or
like
something
that.
like that this whole time. And it kind of brings you back to when Doc Hayward was
Yeah.
having the conversation with Sheriff Truman earlier in the season and mentions that she's in a coma. I kind of forgot about that,
Yeah.
but now it's like, oh my god, it's...
But when that happened and then just cut to black, we both sat there in shock.
My jaw was like dropped.
Yes.
I didn't know what to think.
Oh my god, that was insane.
See, I thought it was going to be tough to top like the cliffhanger with Dougie putting the fork in the wall
Yeah.
from last episode, and that episode didn't even end on that.
No.
This episode ends on one of the craziest cliffhangers.
Yeah.
that I can't wait.
But it does make sense compared to
It
what we've
does.
seen earlier on this, especially since nobody has mentioned Audrey throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's her son that's gone missing and ran over a kid and almost murdered a girl, and you see her father on the phone talking about it, but you never mention Audrey.
Yeah.
And so that's why we were thinking it was so weird. So I think I said this in one of the last videos, but it was so weird that it seemed like she was in the town, like nothing was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go.
Now we have an explanation for that.
Yeah, now that stuff, it makes more sense, and it's not as like annoying or as weird as we thought it was when we first watched it.
Exactly. That's why I think this entire season is just going to get better and better with rewatches. Because
Yeah.
kind of once you... Well, I don't know if it'll get better and better, but you'll understand it a little better and see it in a different way. Because obviously the unraveling of the mysteries is one of the best parts.
Yeah. But you're not going to be sitting there like, oh, this is my first time seeing Audrey, and she's just in a house yelling at a guy like, oh,
Yeah.
that's great. You're like, oh, now I know there's something else up to this.
I think just about anyone who had a lot of issues with that scene, including us,
Yeah.
are going to dislike it a lot less
Yeah.
knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Which is why it pays to be patient with stuff
Yeah.
like this.
Yes.
But yeah, this episode...
Oh my god.
Like I said, it's full speed ahead from here. They're
Yeah.
really doubling down with all the different things coming together.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many like main storylines we have left. Mostly the stuff in Twin Peaks with Briggs and Truman and Hawk and all that. That's like the main stuff, and I feel like that's what we're building towards.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Although I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be bittersweet having this all end because we only have one more week and it's all over. 2 episodes, obviously, but it's
it's
all
still
during
1
this
week.
so it's like, oh my gosh,
And
I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, and that's the one part of me that I was saying that makes me kind of bummed about like Cooper coming back this late is the fact that we only really get 2 weeks with him. You know, like because we have this episode tonight and just 2 episodes next week. That's the one thing.
That's fair, but I feel like I have nothing to complain about because everything that I've seen so far has had me thoroughly entertained.
Oh yeah, yeah. This episode was amazing. This is up there with episode 14. It's just one of the best episodes of the season, and I think it's great for different reasons than episode 14 was. Since that one was just a bunch of weird, surreal, crazy stuff, and you can see that the seams were coming together, and it was so great. This one, everything's already coming together. It's just like he said, moving at full speed. So it's great for different reasons than how episode 14 was great.
But it's great all the same.
Yeah.
And, if the next 2 episodes next week are anywhere near as good as this one,
Oh.
I will be 100% happy.
Yes, and you know it will because it's gotta.
It's gonna come together well.
It's wonderful.
So until then,
Yeah.
we will see you guys later.